down. And we appreciate everyone who is joining us online. I'll start with the land acknowledgement, just a little reflection before we begin. The Creator gifted us with this land that we are blessed to share and care for together. We acknowledge that the land we gather on, Mohkinstsis, is the ancestral territory of the Siksika, the Tapi, the Siksika, the Kainai, the Piikani, and the Amska Piikani. We acknowledge all the Treaty 7 signatories, including the Tsuut'ina people, as well as the Ayarhe Nakota nations, Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Wesley. This land is also home of Métis Nation Region 3 and all others who call this place home. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. That was really scary. First piece of inspiration. So every week we spin the wheel. We get 3 random pieces of inspiration. Oh my gosh, it looks like I opened the book to a troll. First piece of inspiration is the troll song. So this comes to us from Poems to Save the World With.
It's a troll song?
Troll song.
Are you going to sing it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't always my ambition to live under a bridge. There came a point, though, where a decision had to be made. It was either here or in a swamp or a cave. On the plus side, there's cold running water all the time. On the minus side, I am living under the bridge. There's little privacy and less in the way of respect. A goose pooped on his head. It's only a small bridge. My feet stick out when I sleep. I bang my head more than I'd like. I get into arguments with ducks. People look down on me living under a bridge. But it's a tradition, my mom said. And tradition's tradition. Sometimes I eat the ducks. Those are arguments I've won. On either river bank are pastures, lush lands. I like the smell of spring, of the 100 different flowers. I never mention this when other trolls come to visit. I read a lot of books. They contain other worlds. For a time, I can imagine I'm not living under a bridge. You can learn things in books too, important, useful things. I eat every goat I see these days just to be on the safe side.
So
That's by A.F. Harold. I just love all of the pictures of this. The goat that lives under the bridge.
Goat that lives under the
All
bridge.
right, goat troll. Goat and troll. Goat troll. It landed on this one.
Don't
too.
eat me. My brother is much tastier than me.
So the troll under the bridge. And what's the second piece of inspiration?
This one. You just got to pick it random. Great. Oh, what's this?
Here.
Okay.
Is there one page before this one?
Okay.
Okay. Can you kind of
Encapsulate such a page.
yeah.
Okay, Fozzie Bear in garbage. So it's Fozzie Bear on a pathway in a park. This is not going to be as fun to you guys. And he's
Could it
telling
be
us...
the comedy of trash?
That's chicken joke.
Why did the chicken cross the road? And Fozzie, right? And then there's a picture of a dog, but he doesn't have a nose and his face is upside down. And then someone answered trash can.
Yeah.
It's
looks
very
like-
Dada.
It looks like they can't speak. What was the first thing?
Troll under the bridge.
And
Goat under the
then
bridge.
there's
Garbage.
guys laughing at him. Garbage. And then Fozzie Bear's like, garbage. And then they're like, no, garbage on ice. And then they're like, Rotten Tomatoes. No, paper to bag. And he's like, ah! And then the guy has a target.
Waldorf.
And he's throwing it at the guy. But he misses and he hits a cop.
Oh, classic.
Screw you, coppa!
And then the cop
Did you
puts,
shave? Oh my god.
and then the cop puts a
You are a
wanted.
handsome devil.
And then the cop puts
Let me
on
see
a
your hair. Did
want-
you get a haircut too?
You don't want to see that.
And then the cop puts a wanted sign on and he's blowing a whistle and they're all running away. Fozzie's thinking about shoes with wings.
Like Hermes, yeah.
Yeah, winged feet.
A whole bunch of
Yeah,
Let's pull another one. Can you do also forget the wheel and do a Shel Silverstein?
sure. Do you want to pick it? Oh my god, good wing. Okay, so garbage, chicken, Fozzie Bear.
Felix has taken this mask with wings and started the artwork on it with the red, which for some reason making
Looks
all
really
the adults
scary.
super uncomfortable. But
There's something called
Why?
tuberculosis. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Were
And I love
you
how
gonna get a poem? Were you
Yeah,
gonna
get
get
us
a
a
poem?
poem there.
Were you
I
gonna
meant
get a
to do
poem?
that.
No, it's okay.
You're
it's
doing
okay, it's
more
okay.
red. You're doing red implicates blood very often, sweetheart. That's what we're talking about.
Oh.
Yeah. You're
The
talking about
flying
dragons.
festoon. Oh, I'm going to ride the flying festoon. I'll jump on his back while whistling a tune, and we'll fly out the outermost tip of the moon. The flying festoon and I. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm taking a sandwich and a ball and a prune, and we're leaving this evening precisely at noon. For I'm going to fly the flying festoon, and just as soon as he learns how to fly.
That's a good one.
So a bird that won't fly, a goat under a bridge, and or please don't do them all.
Fozzie Bear telling a
Comedy of trash.
comedy of trash.
Take
Wow.
that, make of it.
Wow, that was a good
whatever
one.
You will.
So we're gonna make art for 2 hours. Oh, there's 3 people in our backstage. We're gonna make art for 2 hours. We'll have an auction at 9. Hi, Galen. Actually, geese kind of came up in all 3 of them. Hey. I didn't want to make fun. That is what I thought of when tuberculosis is when you cough up blood and this goes over your face, so that it's like.
Okay, Felix,
didn't
are you
wanna
working
make
with us, or
you
are you
feel
going to the
bad.
back? Because if you're working with us, I need another
No,
stool.
we're good. Felix, do you want to eat like crazy bread or anything?
That's crazy.
Have you ever had crazy bread?
Crazy
Do you
bread.
want to go see it?
Can I need my spot,
Crazy.
or I need to set another spot? What's happening?
I want to sit here.
You're staying here? Can
Here,
Can
I'll
you-
stand up.
no? Don't stand up, please.
Okay.
But if you could move that chair over.
No, it has to go this way. Or which?
No, he'll come this way.
Oh.
You know, Felix, I spent like a good hour arranging the studio. Come sit here. And then we need that chair there.
Are you seriously? You're out?
That's crazy.
It's just
It's crazy, man.
Butter
Crazy.
and stuff.
Move over a little more. Like,
which is fine. So I'm gonna make more. You made 50 of them? 50 green. 12 yellow.
Now I need to make some
I lifted over and I was like, why would I do that? Oh! Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Ish.
are you kidding?
I'm not. I don't know what.
Pretty heavy.
It is quite heavy. Thanks, Galen.
Are you joking?
Are you?
Okay, Felix. Jess doesn't need as much table as us, so I'm moving that. No, I keep trying to get you to go that way. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. That's the stuff. I'm so glad you're here. Where's that one black canvas I had?
I had it here, now it's not here, so maybe it's over there.
Do you think we could,
Oh, it's
Jesse?
here. It's here.
Perfect. Can we put Felix on that end of the table and you in the middle? Because
Kind
he's
of-
showing things and
I'm
gonna
not
be
showing. So.
bumping elbows against Felix. What are you doing? Can you put that chair there and trade spots with Felix, please?
You do it?
I need to be able to get up and out. He doesn't.
Butter knife at my sister.
Where are you going?
Right here.
Getting.
Here, can you trade spots with Jesse? Thanks, bud.
Clouds are kind of hard to make.
My
That's
sister
so
was
Okay.
facing me one time and
Felix,
ran into the
I want that
bathroom
chair right
door
there.
knob, and
Around
And
the
we're gonna move
side?
this one up. Yeah.
It bent the doorknob,
I can
but
L
more
shape.
importantly, it chipped a piece of my,
Okay.
like, bone off. Yeah. It really
This
hurt.
is a very cloudy sky.
That is super
Okay,
Partly
now
cloudy.
if you need to move, get
I
Felix.
took the doorknob, so I was
Okay.
running
Felix,
into
you're gonna have to do some running
the-
first,
my
okay?
hip
I'm
hit the
gonna
doorknob,
go
so the doorknob
Also,
was,
around
like,
Can you
there.
pass me that
hit.
camera there?
Get a
But it
few.
was really sore and I ended up going to
Okay.
Emerge and they
It's
did
in the thing, yeah.
x-rays.
Just
And
pull
so
it
I was
off,
like,
don't drop it.
Like, it's not broken, but you chipped a chunk of your
Yeah, just yank it.
Yeah.
Is your phone? I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
I
go get.
Headphones really hard to break.
I hit it really hard.
I'm gonna go get.
Why don't you try a piece of crazy bread, Felix?
Because it's crazy.
That's crazy.
No.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Your TikTok live thing, I don't think worked.
What?
I don't think your TikTok live worked.
Probably.
I tried to find it.
Yeah.
Is it talking now?
Yes. We are TikTok.
Is it on speed?
I don't know.
2.5.
Yeah, something. Until they shut it down. They're trying to do it. They're trying to shut TikTok down completely. Oh yeah? Yeah.
Is our YouTube going?
I have to find it to share my stuff.
Yeah, never mind. It is going.
So, if you are watching,
Mm.
hello, Kelly and Dusty and Theo. Thank you so much for joining us.
I have another one of those chocolates, please. Is it yours? There's more?
Yeah, but we shouldn't eat too much. It's sugar.
I'm eating them.
Please hit share. Yeah, but we shouldn't eat them.
Oh. Insta.
Go around.
Okay, I'm going all the way around.
Felix. When I start setting up the studio right before the Rumble and you're playing video games, I want to say, hey, where do you want to sit? And then you just tell me, okay? Just remember that you like to sit out here.
Okay.
Hi, Steven.
Code word
are you?
avocado.
Nice to see you. Hello.
Do I seem grumpy?
No.
Do you remember that time that I was like setting the thing up and I kept asking you to sit?
And then
you
finally
stood
did.
up. I'm like, hell
Yeah.
no, you're not standing.
Hi, Terry and Richard in Illinois. Hi, Steve. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Theo and Dusty. Dusty, guess what? Hi. So I told
Perfect.
you the
Thank you,
story
buddy.
about
Hey.
one of the kids I teach. He was asking, what is happening there with the fabric? And so I showed him one of the scarves that you made that we bought. And then I found a bunch of cardboard looms that had been cut that were left in my class. And so
They were
today,
just like hanging out there.
just looming over us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that one. Usually it takes me 10 minutes before I understand your joke. And then I started watching videos about how to do the cardboard looms. I still need to learn, but I think we're gonna be trying that out next week or like after the break. No, I saw circle one after, and then I
Do you
lost my
remember my-
mind, like
my-
on a plate,
Do you remember my
or like a circle. Sorry.
Do you remember my new friend David? You brought me the photo.
Yeah.
He took a picture of us in 2020.
Do not lose hope.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Oh, that's so nice.
He must have forgot that he took that picture.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Come on in. We spun the wheel. We got 3 random ideas. They were super weird. I think the first one was a troll under the bridge. The second one was Fozzie Bear telling really funny jokes. The third one was about a goose that couldn't fly. You don't have to use any of those. You just we make
they-
art based on whatever we actually want.
Have you guys been in before?
You have? Nice.
So you know what we
I
do?
haven't been in since the pandemic though.
Come on in.
Okay.
And so we
So
we
this is
we
like
pull
a
3
weird-
random ideas and paint or do whatever you want to
Yeah.
do. But please don't feel locked down because
Yeah.
sometimes when they're really wild, like we've got Fozzie Bear doing the comedy of trash, you don't have to do a painting of that. So those prompts are there for you to work with if you want to. You can do all 3 to whatever extent you want, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to be fun.
And just find a space wherever. Let us know if you need anything. And we go till 9:00. And then if you want, you can put your work in the auction. Artists set their minimum bids. Half the money goes to the artist, half the money goes to the house. So then you can take that into consideration. And oh yeah, since the pandemic, this is what's new is like it's weird.
We're broadcasting.
So we're live on Facebook and YouTube. And
That's why there's a chain.
it's for
But it's
sound.
plastic, so you don't feel like you're.
It's right. Yeah. Galen's still upset about it.
If there's things that are secrets that you're sharing with your friends.
For the most part, the mic doesn't catch the room, but if you are talking about how much you hate your boss, we'll just remind you on the live feed.
And there's food.
And there's food.
You've been setting up food. Okay.
Thank you for coming.
Hey, quick question. How did you find Rumble House the first time?
Laura McNeil.
Okay, perfect.
This
Yeah.
girl.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Do you know we probably met 10,000 people, and I asked every single person how they found the Rumble
Yeah,
House.
It's fun to
Sam
see.
came in with Ian the first time. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah.
Do you remember how Ian found us?
I don't know.
Maybe we can ask him. But that's my hobby is figure out how people found Rumble House.
Do you remember when I first came in? I had a
But that's
big
my
painting.
hobby.
The live feed.
Did you think we were
Big
nuts the
painting.
first time you came in?
Yeah, there was a big painting.
Yeah. And you had a big painting.
When did you decide we weren't nuts, or are you still hold out your?
The jury is still out. I love that smile, Sam.
He's still working on that.
I like that you just like gonna go into the next room.
Okay, I have a question for the old people. Ready? There was a CBC.
Also, Sam left for that one too.
You're one of us. You're one of us. There was a CBC, and anybody that's online, who do we got with us? We got 7 people online. There was a CBC Easter special. You remember those Easter specials? And I'm sure it was Canadian, made by that polar bear company that made like all the good Canadian cartoons. And for some reason, there was this Easter bunny that was in a house. I almost said a bucket load of trouble. And whenever he wanted to go fast, he said, "Hubja, hubja," just like a quick little bunny rabbit. Does anybody know the CBC Canadian Easter bunny special with a wildcat bunny that was like a super hep cat?
No.
Dusty
Wasn't
or
it the same guys that did
Theo?
Frosty or something?
Nope, sorry, can't say I do.
Hubja, hubja, just like a quick little bunny rabbit.
I thought it was the rabbit that was in Frosty's song.
Frost.
Theo, you got my back here? Canadian Easter cartoon.
How is that?
I'm gonna write Hubja. How do you spell Hubja? Hub.
JAA.
What?
Hubja, Hubja.
I think you.
Obviously.
I recognize the saying, but I don't think it was Hubja.
I don't understand.
It was just okay. Did you ever see Rock and Rule?
Yes.
It's made by the same company. It was just like these wild Canadian. Canada was amazing for like avant-garde cartoon to the National Film Board in the 70s, 80s, right up until the 90s. Like I think it might be the same company that made heavy metal.
Or the dark
No,
side.
I've never seen this movie
Yeah.
I
either.
think it was. That's the movie.
It was a time.
That's a Ruby. I kids know that.
Ruby and Max.
No,
Oh, it's called
Max
Rabbit.
and Ruby.
Oh,
Hubja, Hubja, just like a quick little bunny rabbit.
Hubja.
I
Hubja.
think it only came on once, didn't it?
Yeah, it was that kind of thing. I mean, imagine the energy that they put into these National Film Board films that would hit the TV once and then disappear like 8 years to make. Okay, I might have made this up in my head, by the way.
No, I think it's real.
Why?
I remember it. But
Easter fever? Gina, you're the best.
Gina, you're so reliable.
that's what it was called.
I got it at the same time. I was looking at it. I had to look up days.
How did you say it's awful?
I do not.
No, I said it was in the
What is
80s.
Cyril Steer? The raccoon.
Yeah,
it looks like the
yeah.
raccoon.
They were all the same company. It was
Yeah,
like
that's
called
the-
like
1980. I was 2. Of course I don't
Oh,
remember.
Felix, you want to go get
Hubja,
Praxis's beef?
Hubja, just like a
You're
quick
gonna
little
be my
bunny
feet.
rabbit.
Also, Praxis, did you see what Ash is working on?
Did you do a picture of it?
What do I do?
All of them.
Go grab,
Okay, who
or
did
did you get a piece
I
that?
haven't yet.
Oh,
Gina.
maybe Chelsea can put up first. It's okay. I'll tell you after. I just wanted to see it. Do you see what Praxis made?
A lot of
It
clean
looks like
living.
a
That's what I'm gonna
little-
say.
Oh, it jumped right out of it.
It's so cute. Here, now you can
Hubja,
take
hubja. Does he have a name?
The Jack Rabbit story. Jack Rabbit. That's how I remember it. Look at.
Can I see?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
It's
Steve
a
Martin
little
was in it.
Huh?
It's a little
Who?
Steve Martin. Maybe you've heard of him.
Pretty good banjo player. Does the bunch of us play the banjo? Yeah.
Thank you. 7, you said, right?
Jack was born. Jack's present must have
I know what I'm doing tonight after the Rumble.
Watching it going. I like that.
I like it right now.
Thank you, Gina.
Praxis, this is so
That's cool.
cute.
Hub, just like I don't even know if I'm getting that even close to proper.
But it's Hubja from now on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how close that because I was probably like
That would be interesting.
How old were you when that came out?
maybe around your
It's
age. Yeah.
1980. It says is when it was put out.
Yeah,
So
around-
I was 2.
Right, but you know what? They used to show it in 1980, and then they showed it again in 1981, and they probably showed it right up to 1989. Kind of like I found a toy in the backyard. You
That's
can't
stuck in my
stop, yeah.
head. It's the same as like
Just
when
like
the
a
first
quick-
Star Wars came out. Because I
Hubja,
remember watching the
Hubja.
first Star Wars. I clearly did not watch it when it first came out.
Right. Yeah, they would put Star Wars out.
What's
Well,
your opening bid for the fall?
Gina, I think you also might remember it because you must have been fairly sober compared to the rest of the people in this room. Because I think some of the memory issues are not just cognitive. What?
How much is your opening bid for your Foxy Fox?
Should I sell them separately? $5 for the
The
nose.
butt. I bid on the tail.
Would I don't know? Would $40 as an opening bid be fair?
Yeah.
Who's asking?
No, I'm putting it up on the thing.
Oh, that's so nice.
What if you couldn't you just bid for the whole thing?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's how we lost. What's his nuts, Michael?
How?
We're not going to go down that path today, Felix.
What do you mean how? we
Richard
lost
says the
him?
painting looks great behind you.
Thank you. Wait till you sit in black light. Mwah.
Hubja, Hubja.
Naked person.
last week, eh? Huh?
Did you post Rich's stuff that's open?
I will do this, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll do this one.
Hey,
Kelly posted
how do you
hers.
spell a hares in the animal?
H-A-R-E.
Right.
Is the list of stuff that's sold back there?
Yes. I'm gonna
You know
get
what's so
that for you.
funny?
The scratchy scratch.
No, the reason it was so important for me to move you away from Felix and you was I needed just a little bit of elbow space.
I love you. Squeeze.
And I was so excited to have Felix here. I'm like, hey, you want to set up on the table? Like, no, I'm going to work back here. I know I'm harping on this now, but it's like, I like people to understand how hard I work to
Felix, I have a
try and
favorite task
carve out
with
the
you.
space every week.
Can you be my legs one more time? And
Where?
give this to. Oh, it won't be one.
Thank you
It'll be
for
thousands
your
of other
legs.
times, but for
Where did I
right
give
now.
this to?
Chelsea, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Also, Felix, here's a thing you haven't done before. Where do you think the printer is?
Some of my work.
Over there.
Do you think you could get me something off the printer?
Sure.
It's not there yet. Hang on.
Don't have much.
You're a pretty fantastic assistant, to tell you the truth. What was the look I got? I saw movement.
Look at that. It was like stood at attention.
We got 10 people.
Yes, sir.
Sir, yes, sir.
Oh.
Can you hear it going?
Hey, Jess.
Hi.
I would be happy to come to your class and do a demo on weaving if you wanted.
Oh my. Honestly, right now it's me and a bunch of YouTube videos and these cardboard looms. But some of the kids actually asked me, like, what is this? How can we do it? And so I think that would be really fun. Okay, are you serious?
Who are we
Yes.
talking? That's Dusty.
Dusty.
The
Yes.
the first step is, and Jess isn't going to tell you this, because it sounds so sketchy, but do you have a I almost said a clean. Do you have a recent police check?
I had one when I started my contract with Parkland.
Yeah, as long as you have a police check, that would be the starting point because
Funny enough, Rich and I will have to be doing that soon because they're rolling through the whole district. So
Yeah.
I don't know how to do one, like get one myself, because the companies get them for me.
we will.
You'll find
I'll
out.
start asking and I'll find out. Yeah.
Okay.
That is. I will
Felix,
find
can
out.
you get me
That
something?
is
Because
really
I'm happy to do that, and happy to come and do a little demo.
And we'll pay for your police check.
Oh yeah, and whatever. Yeah, we'll figure that out. But I'll figure out how to do that. So that is so fun, Dusty. That is really, really lovely. That is super. Okay, I will start looking into that so we can do that. We start our break. Tomorrow's our last day before the break, and then I'll have some time to figure that out, and then that would be really fun. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be fun.
My gosh. Gosh, thank you.
Felix, would you mind getting me that?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Did you guys start the calligraphy? Did you guys start the calligraphy?
Well, we have to learn the cursive first.
Totally. No, that's good.
It'll
That's
give me a chance to practice.
that's really nice.
That ink is from Japan. Did you know that? That's Japanese.
There's
brush.
really good stuff. Yeah. Brushing. So is it better if I got
I don't know.
brushes? Because I do have different kind of
I'm
ink
gonna
too.
ask the person at my house that might know that.
Because I do have different kind of ink too. I just grabbed by
It's
the,
by the fridge.
fridge.
I think they use that for the pen though, so
Okay.
it should be okay.
Okay.
I'll try it.
Cool. Try it out and let me know. There's this kiddo in my school doing a big piece and she's inking the whole thing. It's a big landscape and she's inking the whole piece with the mixture of brushes and pens and just kind of like experimenting with the different things too.
You could buy like calligraphy brushes at where did I see it?
Thanks.
Just like a quick little bunny rabbit. Chelsea, how many kinds of love do you know about?
I don't think I know about any.
Do you know about agape love?
That's rude.
That's rude. Why is it rude? Am I not understanding?
Ash is like, I have love for you.
You know more about this than I do.
That is one of the loves. One of the loves is familial love.
Oh.
What's familiar?
It's Greek. It's there's like
Familiar?
this is just one
Exactly.
one like
Good root. What would you say that he's doing with his roots? He was expounding on the root.
that is a great bunny rabbit.
This one?
Yeah.
It's not bad, huh?
Look at those hands.
Face.
Look at that face.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure
mean
I
play
do know
Comet?
about them, but
So like
You have to put a
you're
top hat
looking
on him.
agape is like service, love of like
Agape is
universal,
unconditional love.
unconditional, like service, like active. Yeah, like
that's a
unconditional.
trick question though. Like, do I know the definitions of them or do I understand and have felt it? Those are two totally different questions.
Oh.
That's true.
I think you're projecting.
Probably.
No,
I
think
didn't ask
had-
you about your specific love life or if you experienced all 8 of them. I was asking if you're familiar with the terminology. So it was not at all a trick question. It was exactly what it sounded like.
Dad.
What? Sorry if I offended you, though. It wasn't meant to be offensive.
No, not at all.
Nobody knows these, by the way. It wasn't like I was expecting you to pass a test or anything. I was just wondering if he was like an
You know
interest
when
of
you
yours.
close your eyes in a way that it makes the whole world like flash for a second?
Yeah.
I just did that and I barely didn't get the entire like a giant black streak through.
So
How many others are there?
they were categorized by the Greeks as I think 8. Well, yeah, 7 or 8 different kinds of
There's
love.
8, yeah.
What are they?
And it's just I'm sorry for the way that came out. I don't know how to fix it at this point.
You haven't done anything wrong. I was just.
I'm just saying it wasn't a trick question. It's a neat way to try and
What are
categorize what you're feeling in any given moment by adding a terminology to it. So agape love would be unconditional love. One of them is like your friend love.
What does unconditional?
Like if I said I'm taking away your video games and you said I hate you, Dad, then that would not be unconditional love.
That's highly
Right.
conditional, under conditions,
You love me
certain conditions.
no matter what, or you love me if I give you what you want, right?
what you want.
And then so Jess and I were kind of working our way through this, and I think we're quite lucky that we have one of them is called manic, and that's kind of a new addition that like it's supposed to be a negative one, but to some
But we
extent
both like admired.
we do have it manic love,
What does manic mean?
like
Like
you're
obsessive.
nuts, you're nuts, codependent,
codependency.
and the way they break them down sometimes they kind of make it sound like, oh well, this one's your family, and it can be, but it doesn't. You could still have agape love for a friend, right?
Yeah.
If you love your friend
So
unconditionally.
that familiar love is based like fond memory with the friend. It's like memories and like it's like almost automatic to parents and children, but like longtime friends and like
Like
it's
that's like that song about memories.
that
Yeah.
song about memories.
How do you
I
know
don't-
that song about memories?
It plays at places.
Oh,
I'm just calling them places.
what kind of places do you go to where they play memories? Are you talking about like
Interesting how
memories? Like that? Is that the
Hi,
one?
Nicole.
No.
You came in at the perfect time. Rich was serenading. How are you?
Nicole, can we
So
talk
nice
a little
to
bit
see
about
you.
the 7 kinds of love? Because I tried to talk to Chelsea about it and she totally shut me down.
I just asked a question.
Are you familiar with any of the different kinds of love, like agape love?
The
and-
Greek in the Greek tradition.
Yeah.
We need to clarify. Yeah.
See, I do want to know more.
I'm erasing it.
Do you-
Ludus is the playful love.
Do you find them interesting, like as a theme? Yeah, me too.
Did
And then
mess
Jess
up?
and I were going through them, and I think we have.
Did I mess up the blue black there?
Why don't you get the
I-
other one? And you can have a daytime and a nighttime one.
I get defensive because I actually never give trick
Do you
questions.
want to do a badge?
I also would never give a pop quiz.
Look how cool this is. See, this is kind of
See,
sticky.
that's maybe what-
Galen gives
And
trick
when
questions all
you
the
can
time
sew it
and
up
pop
on,
quiz.
and you can
Do you do
iron
pop
it so that it
quizzes?
glues onto your
Yeah.
clothes.
You're a monster.
Isn't that
But I
cool?
tell them that I'm gonna do it.
It's not a pop quiz if you tell me you're gonna do it.
It's more like a fizz
Well, truth is, I say you're gonna have a pop quiz as soon as we're done this,
quiz.
Heads up.
and then they don't actually believe you, and then you're like, okay, time for test, and they're like,
Then
what?
you've ruined their
I
whole
thought you were
day.
joking.
This came up earlier somewhere where this constant fear that someone's gonna require something of you, and we totally were like, oh, it's from school and pop quizzes.
It's true. And actually, when you tell them, like, because in LA, I don't give tests.
See, it
It's
teaches you
writing,
life
and I wanted to give
skills.
you a chance to like keep writing and work on your writing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they don't believe me. They are always asking,
You're like,
"Is this the
what
day?"
these teachers
Here,
are
can you go
like.
grab? Look at Sam's beautiful.
Could you see that light up? That's because they've learned.
Oh yeah, we can check it with the black light after.
That's
Yeah,
Peter's.
I'm the
that's
daughter.
Peter's one.
Yes,
Beautiful.
the horse.
Actually, my friend Kevin just had to get like a thing mounted in him, and I had the opportunity to do his some training with him to make sure that if his heart pump stopped working,
17. Okay.
I'm the backup guy to make sure it's still working. And then so this lady came in from the hospital to help me learn how to do this. And she showed me all the stuff. And the whole time she's showing me stuff, I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not going to remember that. I'll have to watch a video later. And then right as soon as she finished, she's like, okay, now can you explain to me what I just said? I was like, ah! And under the entire the pressure of the situation, I ended up remembering every detail or figuring it out as I went. I didn't remember anything, but I'm pretty intuitive. And that was the other thing is I was learning how to, like, you know, if something goes wrong and Kevin starts doing the funky chicken and I got to fix his little robot thing. I'm like, I don't remember anything she's saying, but I know this is designed in the way that I'll figure it out as I go. Just like my kiln every year, I open it up and I have to figure out how to use this kiln.
No, but it's weird because I think I've been trying to figure out how to.
I have two that I'm teaching. Thank you. They're with my smudge kit
Oh.
and my little, I have a feather.
Oh.
Smudge kit.
Felix, Sam has a special magic for you. We have ours in our bedroom. Thank you, Sam. You're so sweet. You're so kind.
Very cool.
Isn't that magic?
Give me a bigger brush. Oh no, I'm okay. I'm okay. Sorry, my bad.
You see? So it's like the orange from the Every Child Matters, and the hand there, but it's also like a that's pretty magic. You're good, you said? Yes. Hi. Have you guys been in before?
Yeah, I've been able.
Oh, wonderful. Hi.
Hello.
Let us know if you need anything. We're like, this is weird. We do like live broadcasts, so we're on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay.
Do you have everything?
Yeah, I think we got everything.
Awesome. Let us know if you need anything.
Thank you.
Hey, also, is this your little one?
Yeah.
In the next few weeks, I don't know when, we're going to start doing some Saturday classes if you guys want to show up on a
Oh,
Saturday.
We'll post
Yeah.
it on Facebook and Instagram.
That would be great. Yeah, I follow you guys on both.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you.
There's some okay, perfect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think everything's posted. There wasn't a lot up last week. Awesome. Oh, right, you were away last week.
Yeah. That was a weird.
Okay.
It was a weird time. And I'll put these ones up from up here.
Well, here's the distinction: is that different people need about different things, and it doesn't have to be a power over.
Hey, Galen.
Dynamic. It can be more like, hey, I'm the
Just the
one who
drool
has something to contribute right now, so listen to me.
Hey,
and-
Felix.
And then it goes to someone else.
What if I asked you to go to the kitchen and get me a glass of water? Is that a thing you can handle?
Like a paint glass of water?
Like a jar with some water in it?
Oh, not for drinking.
No,
No.
just the
Oh,
dirty,
okay, I can do
the
it.
dirty
Actually,
jars by
and
the
on your way
sink.
back, I think I have a yellow water bottle right next to Galen if you want to grab me that.
What do I do?
Is there a yellow water bottle? Yeah, can I have that?
What I really got excited about.
Where is this one?
Do you remember how old this is?
Last week.
Is it okay to drink?
And
Yeah,
especially
some
when
water
you
for my
have
precious.
curriculum plus time constraints. Because if they just had, okay, you're gonna be hanging out with us for 12 years.
Hey, Rich,
Yeah.
And it's so
have you talked to that lady about her photos?
Yeah, I have a
and they're
terabyte hard drive in my bag here.
Oh, okay.
So I think you could throw everything on that.
Yep.
I suggested she get a terabyte so that she could back up everything. And her new computer and all that stuff.
Yep. Okay. Good stuff.
To where?
Can you drop it off on your way out to school?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, to tell you the truth, I think I have all week to do it because I think she's going to Europe now.
Okay.
There's less of a rush. We'll do it
Do you want to do some?
Whatever. Okay.
when we see you.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, or actually, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and
I was just kind of waiting till it dried a little
You're
bit.
so good.
asking around.
Does he want little claws, like little black?
What are people experimenting with out there?
What do you
Because I'm
think?
pretty sure I'm not the only
He's
one
super
thinking
cute.
this.
No, I want him to be happy.
And also
Oh, I love
compare, you know,
So happy together. What?
I love your rabbits. Whenever you draw rabbits,
I know.
just love them.
Do you know that I specifically draw rabbits to impress you? Why are you laughing?
I love
Yeah,
that.
there's this cool thing called Sudbury Valley School.
She's like happy with other stuff, but I specifically pull out rabbits to impress her.
I was like, I need to win some points with this woman. She's got a TED Talk. What do I got going for me? I can draw rabbits.
Rabbits. absolutely love it.
I was honestly gonna draw a rabbit.
I
What?
have lots of canvases. I've got lots of paper if you want to do more pieces.
They're
Okay.
like, what are you gonna do? Because these kids are gonna be school age in a minute now, and we gotta go to school because we gotta earn a living so they can have food in your home and everything. But we want something different for them. So they figured out what they wanted, and then they reverse engineered and said, okay, well, what starting when they're 5 or 6 or so, what would the space need to be so that it would create this consequence? And they were very skeptical of themselves and their processes, and so they included a whole bunch of internal and external research on the project to make sure that what they wanted to have happen
It's going in
happened.
the right direction.
And 45 years later, they're like sailing, and they have all this research results that they've documented and published, and they had conferences where people come and like check out their model because they're like, we think what we're doing seems to work to create engaged, enthusiastic human beings who want to make a contribution and figure out what kind of contribution they want to make, and then they make a livelihood out of it. And some of them have gone to university, and some of them have not. The ones who have gone to university, like they go without any like test results because they've never been tested. The way they
Is this in Edmonton?
own school. There was one in Edmonton.
Yeah, it was
for
called
years.
the Indigo School.
Yes.
I drove out there to check that out when I
At Nicolette, did we?
I met a fella and a lady.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so like they had a room full of, I spent the day with them.
Yeah, cool.
And it was just something I was really interested in while I was getting my teaching degree, see how it worked.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of that school?
Yeah, Sudbury Indigo Campus.
That's right, I went there
Yeah.
just for a day.
My friend Nicolette, she's the one who started
The
it,
trees.
and her friend Rick.
Is it still there?
No, they folded because the place they were having it was in a big old like farmhouse.
Yeah. It was a school when I went, like an old kind of,
Like a big old farmhouse, or in the
I didn't hear what.
in the mall place.
What did he
it looked like an old school.
What did he say?
Like
the
it looked like
chain
they were probably
the
renting a
chain,
school
I heard treats or something.
Was it in the city or out on the farm?
in the city,
In the city, because that might have been one of their last years then,
maybe.
or was it their first years?
It was 2002
3 or 4.
or 3. I drove out in the summer to check them out. Actually, that's when my tent rolled into the. I drove out to, and I stayed in the Lions Park campsite near St. Albert on my motorcycle right before school started, and I set up my tent, and there's nobody around, so I wasn't worried about losing anything. I rode my motorcycle into St. Albert to go to the New York Steakhouse or something like that.
Yeah.
And on the way back, I got hit by a typhoon. I was just camping by myself, right?
And then
It-
there's a typhoon.
I got hit by a typhoon, and by the time I got back to where my tent wasn't there. It had rolled 100 yards into a 2-foot puddle. Everything I had was absolutely soaked, and it was Edmonton long weekend kind of thing. And I remember I always carried a lot of garbage bags when I motorcycle camped. And so I built myself a suit out of the garbage bags I had, and I put the wet sleeping bag around me, and I slept in this wet sleeping bag, wet tent until the morning. And the tent was collapsed on me, right? So it's like the tent and the sleeping bag and the garbage bags I was wearing were like layers, right?
You're like a cocoon.
I woke up at like 5, and I was absolutely sure I was going to die. And I got on the motorcycle hypothermic, and I rode to a laundromat, and it was supposed to open at 7, but the guy who was opening it was like drunk the night or something. Came in like half an hour late. And I remember I went in, and it was like one of those TV shows where I stripped down to my underpants, put all my stuff in the dryer, and just hit go. And I remember I went from like dying hypothermic to okay to walking out the front door 20 minutes later, and it was blistering hot. And I couldn't remember what it was like to feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like once my body returned to normal temperature, I was like, I know I almost died last night, but I can't remember what that felt like. And it was just all of a sudden, it was just the most beautiful day.
Isn't it crazy? The sun really does that.
It was the most hot and cold I've ever felt in my life.
It's like some kind of cellular amnesia helps us out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Wow. That's wild. I'm gonna tell Nicolette that you told me that story. And see.
Well, now I'm trying to place when it happened because I know it was actually, they were probably finishing off the year and I just finished my university course. So it might not have been in September, which means I might have 2 trips in my head. But I remember I was really super amazed by what they did. And what I came to the conclusion of going to see that school is because they had a room full of videotapes, right? And the kids came in on their own accord and they signed in on an honor system and they did what they felt like doing until they were ready to do everything else, right?
Yeah.
And I remember there was a room full of videotapes and I was like, when can they? I said, oh, that's cool. You got videotapes for like lunchtime and stuff. They're like, no, they can watch that whenever they want.
Yeah.
I'm like, you mean they can just come in and watch videotapes if they want? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, but how do you get them to do the work? And they're like, no, they just work when they're ready. And I was like, but what if they just watch videotapes? They're like, well, they just watch videotapes. What I started to understand is every school has a kid sitting in the back room getting nothing out of school day after day after day after day. This was an opportunity to get bored of goofing around and then do something amazing. So when I was there, it was right after one of the kids had built a skate park in the gym.
Yeah.
And
That kind of thing is not happening.
I think they had to write a proposal for everything they were going to do, right? So if they wanted to do something, they'd have to
They
write.
have to come up with a proposal. You don't necessarily have to write it.
Okay.
They have to present it, and then it's like they use something that I now call resistance decision making. So they'll be like, okay, so we want to do this way, this way, this when, this how. And then the person will be like, okay, well, I'm scared about this and this and this. What about that? And so then they kind of like edit their proposal and it would evolve into something where everyone's like, is that doable?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, that's a good enough plan that's safe enough to try. So go for it. Step one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you do talk to them, you can tell them that I have based a lot of my teaching career around what I learned that day. And those are amazing, bud.
Look.
This needs sharper edges. What you should do with this is use a paintbrush and some gesso and some acrylic to sharpen up those edges.
I can sharpen it.
No, it's just going to keep getting bigger.
It's gonna
and
keep
bigger
bleeding, but you
because
could
it's
try
bleeding.
this. Can I show you
Fabric is
something?
different than canvas.
Sorry, and like you just want to be independent, and here I'm telling you how to do it better. But you could use this marker. I would use a paintbrush and some gesso. There's some right over there. Then you can get a nice clear edge on it.
Here, I'll use that.
Chris, do you remember if you met
I want them to be like that, Dad.
She would have been like a baby.
Dad, I meant it to be like that. Like the
Okay.
fluffy kind of.
I remember there's a fella, I think his wife was busy. And they showed me around, and it was a pretty special day. But I don't remember a daughter.
Nicolette had a pregnancy and a baby while she was the grown up there.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because the kids in the school learned a lot about about babies and stuff. And anyway, Josephine, she's 16 now, and she decided she wanted to go to school for the first time ever. So she's going to Vinny, like the art.
Oh, okay.
school,
Yeah.
because she's really into singing and dancing and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And she just like she just could pick what she went into. Like they didn't really say what was going on. They just brought her there. It's like, yeah, she's this old. This is her grade. And this is what she wants to do.
Yeah.
So she goes into classes for the first time in her life.
Yeah.
And she's in this like English class, and she's freaking out because she doesn't know how she's going to do it in school. She's never been.
Yeah.
And so the semester had just ended when I was there in January, and
please.
Josephine's English teacher was like, "Oh my God, this kid can write," and her mom's like, "Well, you know, yeah, I'm pretty impressed and surprised and proud because until September she'd never written
any
that's good.
essay except this one essay where before she went to school, she's like, I have to know how to write an essay. And her mom's like, yeah, I guess so. She's like, well, how do you write an essay? And Nicolette's like, well, I could give you the kind of lowdown. She's like, yeah. So she gives her this lowdown.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, I'm going to go write an essay. So she goes and writes an essay. She brings it back to her mom. And her mom's like, yeah, this is a pretty good essay.
Pretty good, yeah.
First one ever. And then she's like, well, I don't know grammar though, and I don't know spelling. And Nicolette's like, yeah, you do.
I'm gonna need my black
And she
pencil.
also wrote her out this paragraph.
I forget my
where
stuff
she
too, so
spelled some things wrong and put in wrong punctuation and mispunctuation and stuff like that. And she's like, just fix this. How do you think it should be? And she caught everything except for like
See?
two little like
It's like
arbitrary
intuition.
things. Yeah, she just read so much.
That
she learned how to
reading,
read too.
yes.
She didn't learn how to read till she was 12.
Yeah.
She wasn't interested in reading until she was about,
Oh.
well, no, maybe not 12,
Where is
maybe more
Hmm.
like 10.
I'm
But
10.
Right? Reading is
Yeah, you're 10. Yeah,
I'm
so
10.
your age. Yeah, so, and she went from reading like, kind of, like a
Black gesso.
a
I just
reading
checked the
primer
little
from the
container.
library to reading like a great big thick historical novel. But she was interested in it, so she figured it out.
He's lovely.
Ah!
I named it Scream Me Out.
Streaming
And a small
Are you
brush,
selling
please.
it?
Yeah.
Do you need me to take a picture and post it? And what did you call him?
Scream Me Out. I wrote it on the pad.
Okay, perfect. And what is his?
Yeah.
how small am I? Oh,
Yeah, look,
Those are amazing.
I made this guy fluffy.
How much you selling that for?
the top just
Both
fell
of
off though.
these.
Yeah.
1 and
Got a
5.
little mask on. That's
No, wait,
so
just
funny.
both 5.
5.
5.
What about this?
Tape.
Aw.
Just need to
Everything I make is starting
I
at
have
5.
tape.
So
Everything you make is what?
Everything I make is 5 or
I'm
1.
buying that.
What?
I'm buying that.
I'm ready to not be school anymore. I'm ready to be unleashed on society and go my way. How you sell this? What you have to do is they have
it's just
to
Scream, and they have to be
make it into a piece. They have to present it. So they can, again, they don't have to write it down and stand up and talk it.
It's my fault. I watched all the Scream movies in like 2 days.
All of the
Because I had
all of
nothing
the
going on,
grown-ups
man.
of the school, and a bunch of their peers and their parents and anyone else who's in their world, that they are authentically ready to start in school and do the thing that they think they're ready to do. And so they present it once, and then there's like a rebuttal, and then whatever the rebuttal is, they might go out and figure something out and then present it again. You have something like
Don't touch the tail.
window to kind of go from the rebuttal to the certificate, basically, like the thank you. Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah, it's like instead of it being like I can pass these tests, so I'm ready to be unleashed on the world. Like, you know what?
Dad,
What?
can I,
You cannot play video games. Okay, because you don't, and I'll tell you the same thing every week.
And even like
We're doing a live broadcast, and if you play video games, the sounds on your video games are going to get picked up by the,
I turn them off?
no, like you're not listening. We also need the Wi-Fi. We also need to just be part of this. It's not video game time, okay? It's never going to be video game time at the Rumble. Rumbles and video games are not the same.
Actually, all of the beads out of the crochet. That's brilliant. He needs a little keychain, and he can wear them like. That is next level. I just gendered him. I don't even know if he's a he. Convinced he's a he. Fred Frog. He used to live in your throat. We convinced Ash. Ash used to freak out when they get a sore throat and like hyperventilate, freak out. And we're like, it's okay. It's just Fred the Frog. He's just chilling in your throat. And that calmed them so good. And then all of a sudden there was like frogs all over their room and like frog
That's so
decor everywhere
cute.
because Fred the Frog lived in their throat.
And that
when
was
they got sick.
okay.
And it was good. And they got to stay home from school. It was a reason for them to feel like that. It was like, oh, it's okay. If a
Yeah,
frog
it's-
is there, then it's fine. It's just pain
That
for
is
no
really
reason.
cute.
I had like a
so
good.
a thorn skinned frog in my throat last week.
Yeah, no, it was so intense.
Fred the
right?
Frog can be mean sometimes, but he's just
He
really
was
fun.
Yeah,
He's just Fred.
yeah. I don't know why that worked really good.
Honestly, I don't know why that would work. I feel like on any other child, that would just be like.
You
"Is
needed
there a
an
frog in
explanation for the
I
pain.
know, what?
As long as we could explain it, you were good.
How did the frog get there?
The origin story.
Yes.
Fred the Frog's origin story. What is Fred the Frog's origin story?
So this year, 7 minute science.
Keep your notes over
Yeah.
it. Wait a second.
Tried
What does that include in Alberta curriculum?
too much. 7's learn like thermodynamics.
Whole day, and I'm just overwhelmed.
Ecosystem. And the two big
Do you
ones are
remember,
ecosystem and thermodynamics.
Why I had to move Felix over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like how it feels when you touch my elbow?
Yeah.
I know.
Good, I'm glad they're
What could be
just
wrong with that? What could go wrong if you're touching my elbow while I'm painting? What's the thing that could be uncomfortable?
Just basic geology.
Look at this.
And plants is next.
I love it.
And then I don't even know what's after that.
Oh my God.
Haven't gotten that far yet. Is that yeah, I don't teach that. So if I can't finish it, I want to learn what I'm teaching. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna rush through it just so I can get everything done.
What's your school at? That you're at?
Holy Cross.
Oh.
My bio
And then the kids learn self and cell systems, optics,
Oh, that's how you make sense.
fluid dynamics,
What?
My bio teacher,
salt
he
and
has a
freshwater
soundboard on his
systems.
phone.
Mm-hmm.
So like if he says something,
Mechanics,
he'll tap his phone
so,
multiple times and like
years of
airborne
library.
sound will just come out of it. This is way to like grab the
And
attention
they've
of
already
the
done it,
class.
like,
that
everything
the
gets
Valley?
repeated anyway.
The Valley's the one with the fanny pack.
Fanny
And
pack
does the
Friday.
fanny banani and the fanny.
Cranny and the Fanny Fresca
The
and the
fluids
Franny
go in
Sandy.
here, so
Yeah.
I make sure. I get
All these different items in his fanny.
That's really
He also
fun.
has this thing called Noma the Diploma, where he pulls out questions
Someone
that
like
may be
your
on our
kids
diploma and has us think them over and go
Still
through
trying to
them with
figure out
us.
ways to
That's
So
make
on
it
his
interesting.
soundboard app on his
If you
phone, he has a really
paramount
high-pitched
or-
version of himself going, Noma the Diploma.
It's like a thing about
It's the
notes and
stupidest thing ever, but it's great.
like,
That's fun.
It
you know,
Sounds
it's like
fun.
you're about
I am done.
Wow. These are both very lovely.
Sing. Sing.
When my
Faint.
eldest son was in grade 7,
Wrong. I can put
this was one of the
visible
first things I
lightning
ever
bolts.
Googled. Because Google did just come out. I was like, what's the best way to study for a test?
Oh, God.
And this one answer that came up was basically you get a whole bunch of index cards and you just write all the questions. You like as you're going through your textbook, you turn every fact into a question and you write the answer on the back. And then you just go through the pile of index
Oh,
cards
yeah, that works good.
and you throw the ones to the side that you know, and then you get a smaller and smaller pile until you just know all the answers to all the questions.
Exactly what I'm going to do.
And I was like, why don't teachers just make a set of index cards for every class? That would be pretty cool. I almost did it as a
I thought of
side
doing that.
hustle.
Index cards also.
Yeah, but these days you just make a digital file and parents print them out on cardstock.
But
cut
I
them up.
think,
Not at my school.
I think
Ta-da!
creating them is what helps you study to begin with, I think,
Yeah,
right?
once you created them, you don't need like a third.
No, because reading them is different than, like, when you're
Fred the
writing them
Dragon.
down, I think that's what's
Asking
getting
each
into
other
it.
actually works well.
Yes.
I
Having
thought
a
it
little, that was actually the recommendation, was you have like groups of
How do
five.
you rate Fred?
And each of you,
I have-
whatever the chapter is of the textbook, you each do a chapter of it
Yeah.
or a part of it. And then you make a fifth of them and then others
Part?
make the other 4/5.
My daughter
What
would
is
always
that?
ask me to ask her questions, and I'd always ask her questions she wasn't ready for. As a teacher, I know they're gonna ask questions that are twisted and stuff.
No, it's Fred.
So I was
Fred.
like, Okay, so that's.
I
that's
literally-
Not, that's not one of them. Like, yeah, but Steve can answer it.
I literally
How do you write
remember
dragon?
from
DR?
my dad was a chemistry teacher. I remember when I was like in elementary school marking for him because if it was multiple choice, I could just be like A, B,
Yeah, yeah.
S, like.
Mhm.
And
G-O-N.
as I marked them, I would learn stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember being in Chem 11 like 4 years later and being like, oh, I remember
I
this.
know this.
I did this chemistry test.
Yeah, but I let my daughter check on my life because she put them.
That's part of how I learned to add was like, you know, I'm like 6 years old. He's like, okay, just write down all the numbers at the bottom of the page.
Put it up.
And then add them up.
Jesse, Fred the Dragon by Felix.
So nice. Do you want to put April 5th? So when people look back on it, April 5th, 2023.
How do you write April?
A-P-R-I-F.
Yeah.
99, my daughter.
Oh, my daughter must be 29 because she's 42.
Fifth, what next?
2001.
2023. 2023. Because then,
No,
if you
my
look
son
at the
was
back
20 and he
after,
was born in 2000.
Ah,
January.
thank you.
Yes, it's 2023.
Galen, when did you
You're
start
90,
teaching?
Galen, you're 90.
Galen, when did you start teaching?
Too long ago.
1942.
99, same year she was born.
I'm really.
Oh, that's right. She's 23. Oh my gosh.
sorry, Maya.
Glad we had this conversation.
Right?
The top screen is Theo, Richard. So Theo is working. Oh, wow. Yeah, so Theo, we have lots of different pieces by Theo all the time. Just plethora of awesomeness.
Guys, Fred the Dragon by Felix, April 5th, 2023.
Right.
That's awesome.
Dad, look at the back.
That's really cool.
Fred the Dragon by Felix, April 5th, 2023.
Very smart.
Exclamation mark. A whole bunch. Exclamation mark times a bunch.
COVID missed us all up, right? So he was supposed to be online at home, so he didn't
Is
know
he
he was
on,
going to
is he on par? No, see, Tice is.
for 2 reasons. Because, like, one reason is because
What's that?
COVID didn't offer all the classes he needed.
Yeah.
Can you see the little face?
The Alberta Board of Education didn't send all of his transcripts. So there was a class he's
Pro
signed up
tip.
for. He wanted to do all the transcripts.
Pro tip.
And it turned out to be probably too late.
You put a
So he
wee
signed up
doody
for it
bitty.
again.
Yeah.
Only offer 1 year. And he turned it down again. He's like,
Fred the Dragon.
and then he's like, well,
Also
how did I
Fred the
not make it
Dragon.
in this time? And he's like, well, because you don't have chemistry.
Can you take pictures of these?
Yes, I can. And did you say $1, $5?
Yes, he had 2 awesome pieces in the auction last week. He sure did. He sure did.
Before he took the
Yeah.
When I said 5, I mean like they're
Tyson's
both
going into his
they're
third
the
year and
same.
he's gonna get first year English
Well, like,
finally.
Can they be like a set like this?
Type together?
Yeah.
I sent him a letter. Can you send the rest of my transcript, please?
No,
Yeah.
wait, 6
I said,
together.
no wonder my mark was so low.
6 together.
Do you know my?
Yeah.
2 pieces.
And
Only
he's
$6.
I think he's,
Can you grab me
there's a class he can't get into because of the way they planned it all. It's one of his engineering classes.
2 pieces. Yes.
But he's convinced he'll get it done in time.
And then there's a hexagonal.
Hexagon.
Hexagonal. They're on the floor there.
Do you see the plug-in?
This?
He's gonna be going.
No. So you have to put. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I
think
just heard.
I think he should.
Are you gonna plug it in?
He's currently doing 5 classes,
Is
and
everybody
all of
gonna
his
die when I
classes have
plug it in?
labs. So
No,
he's, like,
no one
in
will.
school from
Just you.
8 in the morning till 9 at night.
Oh.
4 days a week. I'm like, why don't you
Did you plug it
slow
in?
down
Yeah.
and take 4 classes and actually learn what you're learning?
Trying to.
He's like, no, I don't have time. I have to get it done in 4 years. He's very determined.
Don't force it. Here, what are you doing?
I couldn't.
I don't know where to put it in.
You should know how to plug something in by now.
No.
If it doesn't go other way,
He's also not working.
there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think of the things are bent.
You just-
Hold on. I'm coming. Sweetheart, the tongs are bent just a little, so here, I'll help you. Can I show you? You had it in the right space. See, there's a fatter one and a smaller one. So the wider one goes in there. You just got you're just a little bit more. Boom.
This is not the way to do this.
Do you Felix to wash these?
No.
Well, because I want this 5 months, 6 months more, I would have to have 4 teachers. Because I was 1 class away from the distributor.
Thank you.
How do you go? Yes.
No, sir. No.
Oh,
No.
Jeff's with
My
us.
classes were university or college, not university, so that none of them.
Hey, Jeff, how long you been with us?
After 10 years.
Yeah, a little bit. What's going on?
Did you send me like
Hi.
a question mark before or after I added you?
Those credits never.
I didn't know what it was at first, but now I know.
I should have warned you to put pants on. You do have pants on?
My 2.5 years of credits.
Are you
Yeah, I'm
near
at
your,
work.
are you near your drum studio?
No, I'm at work right now.
Oh. Hey,
Yeah.
sometime you should join us on the live feed and just start banging on the drums.
Yeah, not happening today. I'm at work, so I'm stuck here.
Which work are you at?
The grocery thing. I don't want to say it on air, just in case people get weird.
Okay. If there's anything you ever want to promote, for sure, come on. But are you still doing some YouTube stuff with the drums?
Yeah, I got a whole pile of stuff coming up. Just confirmed another drum clinic down in Lethbridge.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
See, that's why it's good for us to get you on here, is if you can come on and promote some things. We have only 10 viewers with us right now, but about 500 people usually watch us throughout the week, which is super weird.
Awesome.
'Cause I don't know why the other 490 people want to watch the Rumble after the auction's over. Maybe it's self-protective, like they're spending too much money, but it's really sweet that we have this opportunity, because we still have the live Rumbles. There's people here. We also have this,
I don't know it's on Wednesdays.
they do.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, especially if you ever want to come and do like a demo for us, just come in and just start ripping on the drums. Are you staying with us, or did you just drop in?
What's that?
Are you staying with us, or you're just dropping in?
Just drop it in for a little bit here. I didn't know what was going on, so I figured I should probably check it out.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. It's good to see you. Let me tell the story about Jeff Towers. I was in my first year of teaching, and my life was super rough. No, it was probably my third year teaching. And you were working at the was it at Axe?
Yeah, it was Axe. Yeah.
And I was piece by piece buying a drum set at like $10 a month. And you were pretty much the only connection in my life. I would stop by and look at cymbals and things while I was trying to buy this drum set. And I remember probably one of the most important things that happened to me in that era was you sent me home with my Axe Mapex drum jacket before I'd paid off my drum. And to me, it was like, dude, like I'm only halfway through paying off this drum. And that really gave me some spirit.
That's awesome, man. I love that story.
Yeah.
I love that you're still doing all this stuff and having such great success with it, man. That's awesome.
and thinking of you and how you got me here.
Good. Good. Hey, I got a new band. You're not going to believe this.
Yeah.
I'm playing with John Hebert from Field Day
Yeah.
and Steve Alaschuk from Wagbeard.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a new band called Meds. It's like a rock and roll kind of like 90s. If you think like The Replacements meets Soul Asylum.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's pretty. Now, is it people that were in bands in the 90s or people that are getting pretty close to being in the 90s, 90 years old right now?
Well, I think it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm the youngest one in the band, which is fucking weird.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's cool though.
Yeah, that's really cool. All right. Well, thanks for dropping in, man.
Yeah, man.
Maybe, do you think that you could join us on drums one night?
Yeah, one of these days I'll figure it out. Wednesdays is a tough one because I'm usually working, but you never know. You never know.
We're not taking advantage, right? Because if we're promoting you in any way, that's great. And then if we're taking advantage, just tell me to stick it up my. Ooh.
No, not at all. Not at all.
For your band, though, that sounds super exciting.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great.
Cool.
We got a couple shows in May. There's a couple shows in May. Palomino.
Cool.
Awesome.
So I'll keep you guys in the loop so you come out.
Cool.
It'd be great to see you both. Absolutely. Okay.
So
Okay.
nice
All right.
to see you.
So there are a lot of people out there in the world who are like, this whole isolated nuclear family unit thing doesn't work for me. And I don't really want to live with my blood family, but I want to see like get some friends together and create some kind of new kind of village. That it takes a village to raise a child, and parents sane and all. And so there's people all over the world who are.
Where'd you get that?
Who are, like learning how to do it.
Snack table.
Because
We should put
most
up
of
a
the people
sign
who
that
are
says
doing it
snack
before-
table.
We
Very
have
cute.
many signs.
They
always end up falling back behind the thing. Or like,
5 to 6 years. They're
Should you
very
be eating
good.
food from strangers?
They've gone longer than that.
So is that like
Trumbull House.
I'm just kidding. I was just kidding.
it's like, what the heck?
We talked about that.
Snack table that way.
That's more. This is what I
so
tell
cute.
people who are doing it not in a like system way. So people are like, we're gonna figure it out on our own.
Oh,
This isn't a business. This isn't a this isn't a co-housing unit thing we have to sell. This is we're gonna work it out with our friends, and we're gonna not doing it as a business or a social like agency thing. Yeah, and a lot of it is also includes things like permaculture.
I feel like
so local
Fred the
food
Frog is like
security.
threatening my throat for the past week, and I'm just
No,
like,
and then figuring out
I like that I have something to put to it now.
alternative
Thank you.
types of
Is it okay if we share, Fred, or should we come up with a new name for each
In
of us?
fact, my favorite villages are the ones who make their kids learning
Universal
spaces
Fred.
basically just
everywhere.
Fred is all knowing.
grows around the kids' culture, the kids like being able to have the kids be together and run as a school, as in fish instead of
Yeah. Yes. Pretty obsolete. Same desks. They were sitting. We had an open house once. 50 years. This guy came in.
There is no
"That's my
stopping me."
desk." Like, that's what I was like 55 years old. He's coming in.
He is not on keto.
Saturday night, I was here. I'm like, oh my God. that's so
Carb loading.
much.
Takes a lot of
You're
energy.
trying to bulk up there too.
Parent of the year word right here.
Could be worse.
You look
There's
so
some apple
happy.
in there. There's fruit in it.
I think he needs
Kind
some
of.
surgery
If you're
to
really
go back.
worried about him, I can go eat some.
If there's any left.
I think that is it.
Who brought those
Is there
in?
any left?
That's really nice.
It's all good. There's a bowl of apples there.
It's Easter's.
What are
Happy
Yeah.
Easter's.
That's like Halloween. I can't even remember the last time I ate an apple.
I can. Like,
Really?
I eat apple almost every day.
Oh, I do not.
Apples and cinnamon.
I don't eat a lot of fruit.
I can. There's apples in here.
There is apples in there.
See?
Yeah, that doesn't mean there's fruits in
All kinds of healthy stuff.
I do eat healthy stuff. I just don't eat fruit.
Okay. Okay.
I eat
Oh, so you eat
vegetables.
vegetables.
I eat vegetables. I know, and it does.
That's acceptable.
There's nothing worse than eating fruit that tastes bad.
Wait, there are things that are worse than
The
that.
good news is-
Want me to make a list of a few things that are worse than eating fruit that
So
taste
when
bad?
you're, like excited about an orange. And
No, but you say there's nothing worse. Are we including like
Oh,
eating your
please
own
don't.
pet because you're locked in an elevator with it? Because
I don't think I would ever.
Felix
do
is
that.
like, don't
I
make
was
him
just
do
thinking about turtle
examples.
soup. No.
He goes too far.
well, I'm just saying if you're saying there's nothing worse, that's pretty like
Hot
It's really
dogs.
disappointing. Really disappointing.
It's like Rich's anti-hyperbole.
Meat flavored ice cream.
Honestly.
what was the word?
Anti-hyperbole.
Yeah, I sure am.
Yeah, there's a lot of
So
things
what do you
worse.
got against fruit?
Meat flavored ice cream.
Meat favorite ice cream. Wait, way to go, Teru.
I'm mad. You give him mad nightmares. We were thinking of things.
So like, do vegetables
Very
not
very
taste bad?
And then the
No.
berry is like the
I feel
sourest
like
thing
vegetables
ever.
are really consistent.
Have you
You
never
always
had a
know what you're
squishy
getting.
carrot? I had a squishy carrot just this morning.
Well, you can look at it and know it's going to be squishy.
Can you not?
I
squish
feel
it?
like
Tell
fruit-
it to-
You don't
And you
squish
don't
it.
know if it's going to be
Chelsea,
sweet.
everyone's against you right now.
Almost so like food sport.
I
surprise thing.
I take it back.
It's not-
I'm joining Chelsea's side because she's alone.
Your team when it comes to mangoes, and it looks fine
Oh,
on the
I
outside. You cut it
love
open,
mango.
and it's all gray inside.
Right.
Yeah.
But then let's just talk about avocados for a second, which might be the most delicious treat depending on your
My
timing.
favorite and the worst thing.
Right,
in
yeah,
the world.
They're so stressful.
A bad
You have
avocado.
to eat them right day, right time.
And then you
Yeah.
think, okay, it feels squishy enough, and you go to cut into it, and it's still hard. And then what do? Because you've cut into it.
Yeah.
I leave it on the counter and I just walk away.
Nicole,
Give it to somebody else.
is now okay time to ask about your son? Is now okay? How is your son?
He is doing really well.
Good.
He is in long-term extended stay down in Claire's home.
How's his eyes?
He will never see again.
Hmm.
He had some vision, a little bit of light and shapes,
Mhm.
and that's gone now.
We were driving by Claire's home and I was thinking of him. I don't know if you know this, but there was a day that Felix and I and Jess ran around with a pair of rubber boots and a sleeping bag looking for him. And no, but if he's somewhere safe, that's important.
That's huge.
I cannot.
How's his spirits?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so for me, his mom, I can ride around in transit now and not be like, is that Sagan? Is that Sagan?
Right.
Mm.
You know, those people who are like falling over if there is that, you know, and or like, do they know where he is? Like,
Yeah.
now I can just be like, riding around being like, he's in Claire's home, he's got a bed, he's got 3 meals a day, he gets to swim, he's
Well, I remember him being so low mostly because of the cold, right?
Yeah,
And so it was in the winter. He's like, I can't take this cold anymore.
yeah,
So now he's safe and warm.
he is.
So huge.
And it's really, really
Excuse me.
scary that the price he paid is his sight. And I don't know if it's really hit him yet, but he seems to almost be taking it in stride.
Yeah.
Wow.
He did do some drawings, and of course
That's
he couldn't see
exciting.
them, but my mom saw them and she sent me a photo of one, and then it disappeared, and I was just so mad because I was really like, when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, you know when I thought everything might be okay, sorry, is when I saw him with the guitar.
Yes.
And that's like,
Yes. Derek Corbin gave him a guitar,
yeah.
and when he picked that up, I was like, okay, there's a glimmer of hope. And then another really cool thing is that he can sculpt. Like he's been making these like marionettes
Yeah.
with beads and wire, and then
The name is on
and then
Okay. And how much?
putty,
7
and
as well.
cloth.
Oh my
He's
god.
calling them Dolly and Pam, and they're these old ladies. And one of them's short, and one of them's tall and skinny. They both have huge boobs.
Is it wet?
And he wants to do stop motion animation with them.
That's amazing.
And I'm kind of freaked out because, like, how is he going to know how it's going? But
I think you get a
How
feel for it.
fearless, yeah.
Like, I'm just like, and he's talking a lot about how to become his own advocate, which I'm like, oh yes.
Does he have any friends in there?
He's been talking to some of the friends that he had before
Right.
a little bit,
Okay.
but he doesn't want to ever live in Calgary again because he wants to be somewhere where he doesn't fall into those ruts and there aren't those reminders and temptations. And,
Right.
Yeah.
And in Claire's home, he's safe from that.
For now, yeah. For now, it'll be Claire's home, and then it'll be probably maybe Edmonton because he needs to kind of stay within the borders of Alberta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when I kind of I've been telling him how I've been in lots of places, hey, like the last 2 or 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
doing this training in these different social technologies about how to really get Eco Village to work
Mhm.
and intentional community to work.
Yeah.
And so I've said, dude, like, I'm on track to be part of a village, like really a grounded guy in Eco Village.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's where I want to end up to. I'm like, okay, you do what you need to do over there.
Yeah.
Step by step by step. I'll
I
keep
want to
on
make
track.
almost
and we
more
will
threads.
merge up there in the end of my friends.
Totally. That's awesome.
Should I make more Fred?
There's packs.
Should I make more Fred the Dragon?
I think you should always make more Fred the Dragons.
Okay. Another Fred the Dragon. This is gonna be Big Boy Fred the Dragon.
Big boy.
Still?
Yeah. And
Here's
I
my
just need to get
here's
some
my
information.
here's my art.
I wrote it all
tonight.
there.
Oh my gosh.
You see what
Oh,
it is?
Did you do all?
Awesome. Thank
Did
you.
you do all?
Do you
the-
actually
Oh, it's
have-
a bag.
Yeah.
When it's size?
Look, she made a shirt
Nope,
into a
not at
bag.
all.
It's a nice little shopping
Not at
bag.
all, but do you have
She
an
tied
email,
the
like,
whole
we can
bottom.
transfer you? Do you wanna
Cool.
put your email
That
on
is
there?
super
And
cute.
Inside it's all cut and tied. So all you need is a t-shirt and a pair of scissors.
That's what I can do with some of the ones I don't want to throw out because he made
Exactly,
them.
right? And also, when kids are small and they grow out of their shirts, but they like their shirts, then they can turn them into a bag.
That's so
And I
fun.
thought that's cool, but maybe they will.
It's super cool. We often cut out the labels, like the prints, and make them into blankets and stuff, but that's like really nice and usable.
And in a pinch, you can untie the bottom and you have an extra shirt.
With some nice ruffles.
Tassels.
With tassels. That's awesome.
Oh, and I love it because I'm a big thrift shopper, and so I like to go through the shirts and just see the cool ones. So I thought this was cool.
But this is perfect.
The element of disguise,
Right?
I love
Okay,
it.
awesome.
This is
I'll
very
put it on
sounding
the
Molly
phone.
Pavilion is actually an element.
That's awesome.
Was it in the auction?
Yeah.
That's super fun. What's the opening?
Could I collaborate with you on this?
$1.
$1.
What do you mean?
Can I work on it with you?
How?
I'll put some detail in.
No, I made him.
It's just the way it is.
It's a little
Yeah.
songbird, and I got it because my mom has a bird tattoo here, and my grandma lived like surrounded by birds always. So when I found it at a consignment store, I was like, because I always thought that was the one tattoo I would get is my mom's little bird. So yeah. That's the Vancouver. Yeah, I know, and I got it like super cheap. And my mom was like,
Can you tell
"Give
the
me one."
audience a
I'm like,
joke?
Mom, in real life, they're like $100. Like, I just happened to find it at a consignment store.
Felix, tell the
But yeah,
audience
it
a joke.
doesn't. I
about
never
that.
take it off. It lives there always, and it's supposed to be. It's supposed to help with your trees.
What do you call an Egyptian that always says
I was
no?
looking at the elements and
In denial.
calcium and
Is it a real
and it
element?
was like element of disguise and I was like,
Is that a real diet?
Molly Bitchin. I've never heard of it, but that doesn't mean anything.
That's a bit. I better
I don't
Google it.
teach grade 9.
That's
Not
your job.
Between all of us, we're like,
I tried to forget the
and the
periodic
intros.
table.
Practice and business practice.
Yeah, we first know that thing. I need her email is also
I don't know. I don't recognize that.
I
Look like
It's
thought of it.
I don't remember there ever being
It's called periodic table. Molly Bitchin. Baby.
And what number is it?
42.
Do you have t-shirts from like when you were 19 that you regret not having
yeah, there
anymore?
it is.
Do you have t-shirts? Rich, you might do this.
What?
Do you have t-shirts from when you were 19 that you still think about and be like, where did that t-shirt go?
Still wearing it.
I had like a threadbare match camo t-shirt. It was the best. And I know that show hasn't held up, but it was really
What show?
match.
Oh.
A
I
match
had a
t-shirt.
shirt.
And it was so thin
I
back
remember
then.
that, yeah.
It was the best.
I did just throw out some t-shirts, and then right before I threw out some t-shirts, just turned them all into a quilt.
Oh, nice.
All my favorite
I
t-shirts.
think I have about somehow. I think I have one from when I was 18, but the rest are from my 20s. I have a lot of t-shirts.
Should I move?
This is a little shopping bag, right?
I have a very zoomed in picture of Fred now.
A what?
Very
I got
zoomed in
distracted
Fred.
by the elements,
Can we turn this
and then
back
I
now?
realized the
I have
camera-
Fred, badge Fred. Very zoomed in badge Fred.
I'm sorry, what is
And I'm gonna do one more and it's gonna be like
What's your opening bid, Nicole? $1.
and then I'm gonna make one more like this one. No, wait. So these two go together and I'm gonna make one more that goes
So
with
Nicole, you came into Gorilla House in the early days. How did you end up there the first time?
Emily
Oh,
Mitchell. She brought me.
That's where I
Because
recognized it.
I remember you lived in Killarney, right?
I lived in Cologne.
Kind of. I was homeless for a while.
But I don't think you're homeless at the time. I'll tell you, when I opened Gorilla House, you remember when they opened up a funny little coffee shop next to the model shop?
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like brand new opened?
The Francesco's.
Yeah. So I bumped into you in the doorway the summer I was opening Gorilla House. Yeah. And then when you came into Gorilla House, I knew that you kind of lived by me because we're walking into the Francesco's and I bumped into the doorway. Because you must have kind of lived there. You weren't homeless at the, did you say
I was
homeless?
actually. I am a really good actor.
Mm.
In fact, I'm an award-winning actress.
Mm.
and I'm really good at not telling people what's going on with me.
Mm.
And I cannot, but it's deceiving because also I'm very good at telling people what's going on with me. So then they think I'm like open and honest and, and like transparent. But then there's this other thing I'm not talking about. So yeah, I was homeless I had no home to live in from May of 2012 until 2014.
Okay. But do you know when I ran into you was like April 2012? It was like the last.
So I was living in Woodbine then.
Oh. Okay. So you were living in Woodbine and then you ended up in Killarney as you became homeless?
I ended up at Francesco's because Kelvin, the guy who used to own Francesco's, was serving my brother's coffee. My brother is a coffee roaster in Revelstoke. He does roasted coffee. And it's my opinion of my own taste buds is it's the best coffee on the planet. I think it's just my brother and I, we have the same genes, so we have the same taste buds.
Mhm.
But he makes coffee that he likes.
So
I
you
like
love
it.
it.
Plus,
Aw.
I'm loyal to my brother and loyal to the people who support his business. So I ended up meeting Kelvin because of that. And
Did
he
you
and I
work in
were-
that cafe?
Kind of unofficially. I helped with like inventory and I made their chalkboard.
So I think that's how you would have made an impression. Is I was going into the cafe, and you probably walked in with a box of stuff, and I would have just said, "Oh, that's one of the people that." Because I was like, "Where did this place come from?" And I just remember I bumped into in the doorway of Francesco's, and then later that spring I opened Gorilla House, and you popped into Gorilla House, and I was like, "Oh, that's that lady from Killarney." Because I never forget.
I think you barely knew who I was.
No, because I never ever forget a face. But I don't know what you're saying. You don't always tell people what you know. I don't ever tell people, "Oh, hi." 12 years ago I bumped into you in a doorway, because then they think I'm crazy.
Oh, I know. I've tried that because sometimes I do remember people like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do.
Now the other thing that happened was I had this weird experience when I was, and to this day, I still don't remember most of it. No, I sort of do. Since Jess has taken over the broadcast, I kind of do remember the Wednesday Rumbles, but I didn't used to. So I would be so involved in what was happening during the Rumble. My brain would make no new memories, right?
Yeah.
But we had a videographer taking video of the event, and the next 2 days I would end up making a movie out of the footage. So anybody that spoke to Aaron would be on video, and it would seem as though they were speaking to me. And so while I edited the films for the next 2 days, everything that happened to Aaron during the art battles or the Gorilla House art battles would register into my empty space where I didn't remember anything. So, for instance, if Aaron's friend gave him a funny smile, I would think the next day, "Oh, that lady smiled at me once." So I remember you were in one of the Gorilla House videos, and I was like, "Oh, I know her from somewhere." And then I slowly pieced together that I'd recognize you from
These
the
two and these two.
coffee shop in
This
Killarney.
is 6. These are 6.
And that's where my two lives kind of overlapped, because I was just
Red the dragon. Zoom in.
one of my paints.
Oh, just me.
Zoom in and zoom out.
Nice. I love that.
Have you heard from him?
What? You're talking to me?
You talk to me?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Have I heard from who?
I remember when he graduated, he was going to walk the Pacific Rim Trail.
Who are we talking about?
Vince?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear from Vince all the
I
time.
work with Vince's niece.
What's that?
I know. And opposite.
Can I color in the background of one of
And-
these?
What do you
And
mean?
Any of them?
she's just like
Or they all have to be
amazing.
the way they are?
And we've
I just
had
took a
multiple
picture of them.
pinpoint
Oh, you took
encounters
pictures?
with her too, and she's
Okay, perfect.
it's really cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You make-
He just had a baby.
He had
He's
a baby?
married and he had a baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I am old.
Right.
Wait, who's
He'll
married?
do that to you.
Vince Varga.
Sneaks right up.
Agent.
What am I
does that,
doing?
yeah.
I'm just staring at my phone.
Like saying I
So are the days.
That's my grandma right there.
Well, I don't know what I've done here, but I like it. I kind of want to crank it up a notch. Do we have a poem here?
Bam.
Where did my how much time do I have left?
Poetry? Yeah, I have poems.
These two.
Do we have any poems that relate to bunnies or rabbits or?
Excuse me. I was just wondering if I can get a small paintbrush and some color.
Yeah.
If that's all right.
Yeah, in that drawer there. There's one sticking out. How small?
Right on.
I'll show you how to get some water.
All right.
This?
Awesome. Yep, just like that. That's perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, and Chelsea, there's a bunch of perfect.
Okay, awesome.
There's water.
This is the most pieces
Here, I got a
made in the dirt. But I mean, does this really count as a piece?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is the most pieces I've made in a day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is. I really love when you work up front during the rumbles. That's pretty wonderful.
I like going
Hello.
through my.
You see the moon this morning?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Hi, how are you? Who asked about the moon?
I did.
Yeah, we did. We live in a high rise. This first thing we do is get up and look at the moon.
What's a high rise?
It's a
It rises high.
building.
It was huge. I think it'll be pink.
Also, I think I have some light.
Oh, Felix, last week you asked how the moon makes the waves go,
Yeah.
and I sent your dad a video on it.
Oh.
Because I remembered that we didn't purposely ignore you, we just didn't answer your question last week.
Yeah, can I see the video?
It's okay. I was going to show him. It's on. You sent me a TikTok video,
I did.
so I can't send his mom a TikTok link because she won't be able to see it. So we'll show him tomorrow.
Or tonight. After
She
the-
does not use TikTok, but
You can
I
watch
can show 'em.
TikTok from
What's that?
YouTube.
I sent my sister TikToks, and she doesn't have TikTok, and she can still see them.
Well,
but if
that's
she's
from,
anti-TikTok, she's.
Then she would not. It's probably not. Yeah.
You can watch it tonight.
They don't have any social media,
Oh.
and if
No.
they did have any social media,
It
they,
doesn't
Mom
really
has
explain
Facebook.
it very well, I don't think.
your mom does not have Facebook.
My mom has Facebook
Since when?
since I don't know,
Your mom got rid of Facebook.
but she hasn't.
Well, she's anti-Facebook.
But she has Facebook.
Okay. But also, Chelsea, I'll show him this weekend. I just haven't had a chance to show
Yeah,
him.
no problem. Look, Galen can probably answer you. He just didn't last time. You know, we were trying to figure out, what was your question? How does the moon make the waves go, right?
Yeah.
Me tides?
I don't know.
There is a neat answer to that, actually. Was that question asked?
It was Felix's question last week.
So the weird thing about tides, and I don't know the exact right wording for this, but it has to do with the world is
Oh.
spinning, and the
And the
water's
water
catching up with the world. So you think that the water's just like beating up against the shore, and it's more like
It's
if
like
you're
the water is floating around. Yeah.
But what's the moon got to do with that then?
Because the
Gravity.
gravity of the moon drags.
The moon's gravity. That's what I said.
Oh, so were you asking the question because you wanted to answer the question?
No.
Oh,
I
'cause
just-
that's cool if that's the case. I love it when people do that. Because I'm the one who was like, I don't understand how the moon works, and Galen explained it to me last week. It was kind
like
of
that?
silly for a 44-year-old not to get how the moon works. So I was impressed by your question.
Sure.
Do you like that one for that bun?
It's good you asked me because every once in a while I have to think about it. Like,
Yeah.
how does that?
It was more, I had a moment where I was standing outside and the moon was
This is
amazing. I was
transparent,
like,
Jessa.
my friend who's down
That's
in the
exciting.
States, is he seeing the same thing? And then it got me thinking about how it
Yeah, I
works.
like transparent Jessa. I've never had this much before.
It's just that I have people now spread out. And I'm like,
Yeah, I did, but that's not even a problem. That's fine.
There's a whole philosophy of that. It's called-
I'm just
We'll get a
discovering.
whole
I
other
just discovered we
container
misread the. No, it's fine.
It's about perspective of things. How two people
Or
can
look
talk
this
about the
one's
same
kind of
thing.
pretty too.
Zoom in, zoom out,
right.
Like if you look at that,
Actually,
Normal.
that's
and
result, right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it as totally different.
when is the auction happen? Yes.
25 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, the whole thing on that. It's one of my specialties in philosophy, actually.
It's,
So-
see, it's
This
fascinating
one's
because
good.
yeah,
It
you
is.
explained it
Sorry.
from
Sorry.
your
I can't
angle
read while
and
you're
I
talking.
explained it from my angle.
okay.
There's no way we're talking about the same thing.
Maybe I was asking you to pick
Because
one
from
and
my
you
angle, it
give me
actually only
5.
has 2 legs. It doesn't even have 3 legs.
And they talk about
Did you pick one?
What makes a chair, what makes
Right?
a stool.
Yeah.
A chair and a stool.
How much do you have to take away?
Have you picked one?
Mhm.
Mm.
I love all
It's
that
pretty neat.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I need this elbow then. Did you pick one?
Oh,
Okay, I'm asking if you picked one of
No.
these. Okay, watch this.
Find a way.
Is it too late now?
It was perfect.
Look at
Pinched this.
yeah.
How do you-
The river.
These are also. This could also be used if you were really, really, really good at it. To skip it.
Does it have to be something
Skip
that
it.
opens and closes for there to be a door?
Or is it just the passive?
It could also be like an eye patch.
Then you talking like doors on tents, doors.
One-Eye Joe. One-Eye Joe, 1 foot Joe. Actually, should I make One-Eye Joe?
Yes, please.
I would draw
Where's your other
One-Eye Joe.
canvas?
Yeah, that's why I like
In the back?
Should I draw One-Eye Joe?
morality is in the interest too.
I'll watch
Try to
One-Eye
decide
Joe. Next.
This is
Will
funny.
convince Mom.
Quantify it
I will.
to decide to make decisions. And you could use math to do it,
I will do it.
but it's really hard to qualify
I will
a decision
try.
about what to do.
I will try to do it.
What makes something right or wrong? What makes one action or another more valuable?
Yeah,
You know something funny?
Yeah.
I find that stuff.
There's a kid on the other side of the glass when I was in the weight room today, and I was trying to communicate with him to go get permission to come join us in the gym if he wanted to, because he was just standing out on the other side of the door.
It's fun.
But I was writing backwards to him on the glass with the Sharpie because there's a whiteboard
You
there,
know what?
and now I'm trying to like remember which way the letters are supposed to go.
Job-wise and stuff, unless you're gonna go into like moral morality and like ethical morals
What do you mean?
and ethics and stuff. Then
Like when you
get
can write both ways, it's hard to tell which is the right
But I
way.
never regretted it because I
What's
use
that?
it all the time.
Yeah.
Every
Oh, that's a letter.
teaching and everything.
To get into her.
But you're writing over its face?
Yeah. I know I was taking a son of sociology classes and I loved it. But that's kind of why I stopped. I also got pregnant to have a baby. But it was like, what do you do with a sociology degree?
Yeah.
What do you become?
Everything you do,
I know, but I couldn't think of the job path that was connected to it, right? Which was
Real estate.
because I love those
I was
classes
determined
so
to get
much.
it, and I'm glad I did because it totally it helps with everything that I do.
Yeah.
It gives you a different perspective.
yeah, it's like anthropology. Like I sure used anthropology throughout my life on a daily basis.
It's anthropology.
Remember when they were
What is it?
when they were doing like figuring out what kind of programming they put in cars that drive themselves? And then someone was like, finally a philosopher has work to do to decide whether the car is going to be designed to run over one person
Or another
five people.
person.
Yeah.
who did hit? The smaller person or the taller person? Or maybe they should avoid both.
Hey, Jess.
Yeah.
So I actually am making a helmet on top of the stair. It's supposed to be Loki
Well,
from
if we
Avengers.
get into rescue robots, you're gonna have to do that.
What are they?
Very
Robot
cool.
rescue first.
I was drawing a goat that has similar horns to
So
that.
I had
Whoa,
this.
it's really tough to build like the helmet itself because I have Eva foam. You have to
Forever
keep
ago,
it up.
and I hung it by my
Yeah.
front door. And I had a best friend
Something
and
different.
sister would both
That's
every
very
time they come in my house would just tear me to shreds because they hated it so much. They were like, "It's so depressing, dying blue man. Why would you have that up?" And for like a year and a half, they wouldn't stop. So I took it down and I took it back to Buddy Village and got rid of it. And then they felt really guilty, which they should. They shamed me. And no, I bought myself the socks. This was years ago when my kids were really little. But every time they come in the house, why would you have that on your wall? It's hideous. It's horrible. I'm like, no, it's not. It's beautiful.
I have a story like that.
How do you take it down?
I wanted to
I
say
could never
Joanne
do
says
that.
hi. She's watching and she said it's so good to hear your voice at Rumble House, Nicole.
Hello, Joanne.
My answer would have been.
Sorry, I
close
didn't mean
eyes
to
and
interrupt. I wanted to say
I know.
No, Chelsea, I think we both talked about this story before. That I remember the day my sister told my mother that it was embarrassing when she sang. And I should have said something, but I didn't. I just, it's possible I even went along with it, but I just remember I remember thinking it was a weird thing to say because my mom used to sing everywhere. And my sister told her it was embarrassing when she sang. And then years later, I noticed my mom never sang again.
Yeah.
So she used to sing everywhere we went. And my sister told her to stop one day and was like,
I wonder if my mom stopped when I told her that I was embarrassed when she sang. I'll ask her when I see her.
No, ask her why she stopped. Don't give her the.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
No, she does still sometimes do it, but maybe that's now. She doesn't think
Oh.
I was just thinking about my singing with my kids.
That's so bitter.
Well, you know what else?
You have to
I did it
respond
when
to
I
something.
did it.
What's the matter? Lid?
No, it's rock.
Oh,
Really?
No,
No, I always say to my kids,
church songs.
I would always change the lyrics.
Of church songs.
No, any song.
My sister used to play a game with us and their kids. It was the sing song songs. And you had to sing at the top of your lungs whether you knew the words or not. Driving on road trips. And we would be singing so loudly and not know the words. And it was, you remember playing the sing song songs? It was fun.
we had a game that if you stuck your thumb to your forehead, then everybody in the room would stick their thumb to the forehead, and the last person with a thumb to the forehead had to yell, "I farted, I effing farted," as loud as you could. And I remember we're at the grad mass or something, and
Oh.
I just remember that Brett was like the second last to catch on, and he was so nervous about getting caught, he stuck his thumb right into his forehead and a moon-shaped scar in his head for a while.
Oh, what?
I
What?
farted, I effing farted.
What happened?
I can't remember who got caught, but they yelled it. Oh, that was at the Jube. And we got in a lot of trouble.
Who did it?
Like,
Who yelled it?
generally, I assume it was one of the Zebedees because
What is
their,
that?
their dad was a cop and they got away with murder, those guys.
What?
No.
No, literally, you start off saying the word really quietly, and you have to say it slightly louder each time, so you just end up yelling.
What's the word?
Penis.
Oh, penis.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh. It reminds me of a story of my friend. He was convinced when his children, before they could talk, that it was really important that they called their genitals by their accurate name.
Yeah.
And then he told the story about how he regretted it later because this one time they went to church and the kid, like, they're trying to like work it out, you know, who's gonna sit where, and suddenly the little boy's like, "You're sitting on my penis." In church.
That's actually the right way to say it.
That's actually, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good advocating for your space. Yeah.
I thought that's probably like, he was embarrassed
She
because,
sees pumpkin. She goes,
but then I was like, would you rather you said you're sitting on my wee wee?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Or just let him sit on it. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like-
yeah. It's pretty good self-advocating, actually. That's good.
Wee-wee.
Boundaries,
You're
really.
sitting on my wee wee. Wee wee.
Get off my dick.
Well, on that note, we're actually going to be turning the light feed off. So people watching from home,
People get ready.
we are going. So
There's
check
a
out the
broadcast coming.
pieces. Check out the
You
pieces on
don't
Rumble
need no
515.
ticket. You just come
You have
through the
15
door.
minutes to get a snack and just get settled at your house and start looking for the new live feed at 9 o'clock. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you in 15 minutes for the auction. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to hit the end.
See you
Bye.
later.
Thank you,
Bye.
Jesse. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Theo.
Yeah.